All right, welcome to another update of the portfolio. This will be for July. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through what I bought this month and then go ahead and give you some updates just for the spreadsheet. So first and foremost, I think I only sold like 2 more Lego sets here. I have the spreadsheet like mostly updated, but I think it was just like a couple small ones. So nothing really to write home about, but I am in the green for that. And I think we'll talk about it a little bit once I get maybe everything sold, or at least everything that I have set to sell sold. So as we can see here, we're sitting at $4,500 for our cost basis and then $4,700 for our market value. Down on the day, but overall we're up about 4%. Our dividend yield is really high right now, and that's mostly just because of Misty, but we'll get into that in just a minute. And then $502 annually right now. And again, mostly because of Misty. Misty's down right now as I'm recording this. It's July 30th. So my average cost was like $21.08, I think, and now I got it down to $20.84. The only reason that I'm doing that is literally just to get the dividends to invest in other things. I want to get it up to like 100 shares so I can sell options on it, but you'll see I don't have even close to that many, and I think I want to invest in a couple other things. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do there, but that's just an update kind of where it is. So positions. This month, I think I invested $350 worth. Not too big of a month for me. Investment wise, I paused my M1 just to invest into a couple more things that aren't listed here. The big one is AMD. I'm trying to get as much as I can into AMD just before I think inevitably they go up really high. I think right now they're sitting around like 180 bucks, and I started buying at about 120. So I have a little bit of a gain there, but I just want to kind of make sure I'm ahead of it there, because if you don't know, AMD is competing directly against NVIDIA, and they are coming out with a new GPU that can do, I think, 1 billion units for AI computing per GPU, or, you know, something along those lines. So it looks really promising. Hopefully they can pull it off, and hopefully the product is really good. But that's just kind of where we stand there. And then I'm also trying to invest more into Google as well. The share price actually hasn't updated. So right now we're sitting at $196 for the share price for Google, so maybe this just hasn't updated yet. Either way, it doesn't really matter because Google barely pays a dividend, and this, I mean, it actually doesn't look like this, maybe the cell isn't working correctly, whatever. Anyways, so we have just about 4.5 shares of Vanguard still. JPQ we added a little bit this month, as well as SCHD. I actually reweighted my M1 to make the SCHD and JPQ to be more of a stronghold of that. Vanguard is like, it's whatever. I think seeing individual stocks that perform better than the S&P has performed in like the last 50 years, like AMD, like NVIDIA, like Meta, like, you know, all these fintech companies, I think I'd rather invest into more of those stocks. And obviously you take the risk of the whole, you know, the stock going down a lot. But if you buy into good stocks with good balance sheets that make a lot of money, that are always pushing to be better, I don't think is that big of a deal. And of course, this is just my opinion. You should take it with a grain of salt. But I've pulled off a VOO. Maybe I'll get it to like 5 shares or something like that. But I am just going to invest in JPQ and SCHD again for the passive income, just so I have that income to kind of fund the portfolio, and then it can kind of just do its thing while I focus on other things. So these 3 positions in the top are my M1, and then this rest is in my Robinhood, and these are just all the dividend paying stocks I have in Robinhood. So United Health Group, I haven't added anything. Again, this is just like a speculative play. I don't know what the stock is going to do. There's been a lot of insider buying, and that's basically all I have to go on. They lowered their guidance. They missed it. They missed their EPS as well. So I think that has something to do with, obviously, I think they had a deal for Medicare or something along those lines, and they underpriced it. And they also had a lot of contracts, I think, during COVID, which of course is not a thing anymore, or at least not as prominent as it used to be. So I think, you know, United Healthcare, the only thing that we have going for it right now is that a lot of insiders buying it. So I only have, you know, half a share, which is not a huge deal. Just in case if it dips, at least it's not like I'm losing a ton more money. I may invest more if some positive news comes out, but right now I'm just going to hold that and let it pay me dividends while I wait, and I will wait for that to hopefully rebound. But you know, just with some price targets of say 400, 450, dependent on if they get caught for this fraud case, you know, I'm happy if it goes up 100, 150 bucks. Even if it just goes up a little bit, I can sell out of it and just try something else. MPLX, I still have 2 shares at an average cost of 51 bucks. I'm honestly just holding that for the dividend. I like the company. If I was more in like a dividend mode for my Robinhood, I would definitely invest more into that. that. But again, I'm trying to get into AMD as well as Symbiotic and some other things like that. Yield Max, I just added more shares because it dipped. I had a price target of if it went under $20.19 to alert me, and I was actually in a meeting while that happened, so I wasn't quite able to get it at that under that price like I wanted to really bring my average cost down. But I did get it below my average price anyway, so I just added 6 more shares, and I think, or 6 or 7 more shares, and that obviously brings up my my annual dividend. So Alphabet, still have that at just a quarter of a share. I want to get that up as well. I think that could easily go way higher. I don't think Google's going to fall behind ChatGPT at all, and with Waymo and things like that, I think we're going to be looking good there. Let's scroll over and let's do just the annual dividend income. So you can see just from Misty, we're getting $330 per year, $1.97 from Google. The next big one is JPQ. So Misty, again, is super risky. Apparently they're trying to help get some assets to correct their NAV implosion, or however, basically the assets are going down in value and they're trying to boost them back up. I think they just acquired more assets for this position, so I think that is going to be helpful. And they also changed their strategy to the NAV erosion to kind of push that off. So again, it's not a grow play. It's literally just to fund other positions in the portfolio. Let's go ahead and pop over to dividend log, and you can see we got $7.66 from VU, JPQ $8.70, and then Misty we got $4.69. If we total this all up, $21.05 for the month of July, and I shouldn't be expecting any more payments. If they will, I'll update next month. But yeah, $21 up from, I think last month, what do we get? Only 16, so it's up a little bit, and of course that's because we had BOO pay, but I think with the Misty edition, this position will double to maybe $9, maybe 10, maybe less. But anyways, we'll start getting this Misty every month, and of course any money is positive money, especially if it's going into other things that are going to perform really well. So that's our portfolio update. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I hope that if I'm watching back in however long, that I can see how much the portfolio has grown. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on the next update.